You've got a floating ball there that was put there by somebody. Well, then your next question is going to be, well, who put it there? And why is it still there? Why is it hovering? Is it the same person?
Do you know what you look like before I continue, AJ, yeah? You look like a character out of Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, is that something you did on purpose?
You mean like...
Is that something you did on purpose?
Yes.
Let me see. Now you look... Is that you?
It's me.
No.
I do it as a children's kids entertainer. Dress up as Jack Sparrow.
Oh my God. Okay, now I understand the background.
God didn't do it.
Yes. We'll come to that. Don't worry about it. The God question, that's something else. It's really an interesting conglomerate of different faces. And look, how many tattoos you got there?
That's not relevant to the question.
I know, but I'm
more interested in
theology. Okay, fine. No.
How do you know I don't know?
No, I'm joking. No, of course. I like they're interesting pictures and stuff. Man.
I'm more interested in why.
Okay, that's cool. No problem.
So you're gonna.
Okay.
We discovered somebody has made that ball, but has that same somebody made that ball hover? And are they still making it hover?
I'm really happy with that question. So, AJ, you really do have a good understanding of these things. Let me tell you something. Now we are walking in a desert, in Speaker's Corner, wherever you want, whatever setting you want. You see the hovering ball. We have two models, the atheistic model, the theistic model. The atheistic model, the ball came from nothing. The ball was there, it created itself. The ball created itself. The ball, there was an infinite amount of balls, and that's just one of them. Yeah? Or whatever. We said that doesn't make sense. There's no proof of these things.
I'm just not believing that there's not a God.
That's what they want you to believe, my friend. Believing that there's not a God has consequences.
There's no church of atheism. There are no rule books.
Yeah, no, hold on. Let me tell you something. This is what they want you to say. They want you to believe. I say they, because I believe that there is now, in the Western European landscape, right, there is a new atheism. There is a new atheism, yes.
If they know that God exists, the people that don't want us to think that God exists, and they know there will be punishments for not following God, why would they not also follow God, knowing that they will face the hellfire?
No, I'm not saying that they know that there's a hellfire, they believe in it.
So they do not know.
What I'm saying is that these guys...
know, why would they suppress?
I don't know their intentions, but what I'm saying is... What I'm trying to say... Yeah. What I'm just saying is that there is a disconnect between what is academically the case, from an academia perspective, and that which we hear on the, from Christopher Hitchens or Richard Dawkins.
I do.
Christopher Hitchens and Richard Dawkins will tell you that which sounds great, but when you start examining it properly, so hold on, there are real problems with these theses, yeah? So, as you say correctly, atheism technically is a lack of belief in God, yeah?
I want to go with what you're saying.
But there are consequences of that, and that's what we need to examine, yeah.
Where's the punchline here?
The punchline is as simple as follows. We gave you two analogies, yeah? One analogy was talking about you're on a plane. You wake up, you wake up at home, you wake up, then you ask yourself, what do you ask yourself? You've just woken up in a plane, you don't know what's going on. What am I doing here? Why am I here? How did I get here? All these questions. These questions are natural, intuitive questions. You see a ball hovering in the middle of nowhere. Would you say what Bertrand Russell said? One of the atheistic philosophers, the universe just is. Are you going to go around and say the ball just is? You're not going to say that. The ball hovering, you're going to say we have the atheistic and we have the theistic narrative. Atheistic narrative, the ball came from nowhere. There's an infinite amount of balls, and that's just one of them. Or the universe, or the ball created itself. That doesn't make sense. Therefore, we say there was a creator to the ball. Now the question we're at is, why is the ball here? Why are we here? What is our connection with the ball? What are we doing here? Since you've already assessed and understood that it does make sense to say that the ball was created, the answer links to the creator. We have to be at one with the ball in the same way as God, or the creator here, wants us to be. So the answer is this. The creator of the ball, which set it purpose and fixed purpose for it, is the same creator that set us purpose and fixed purpose for us. And the purpose of the ball is the same purpose as the human being, which is to obey the laws of God, or the Creator in this case. Yeah, if you don't use the word God, you don't have to. The Creator. So you have to obey the laws of the Creator. How do we get to know of the laws of the Creator? We get to know through what we would say intermediaries. Intermediaries. The medium that we say, the narrative, the Islamic narrative is, the medium that God chose are basically prophets and messengers, which have come before time. Jesus, Abraham, Moses.
Could I ask a question?
Yeah, sorry, him first, yeah.
If you say that these questions are intrinsic to being human, right? These questions.
Yeah, you said that as well.
Yeah. Why would a belief in God not be intrinsic? If He had made us, why would that not just be included?
So we would say, actually, we'd argue that it is intrinsic, and there is evidence of that.
But it's not to me. That's my point.
Yeah, because you've been socialized into being an atheist, basically. And look,
Religious, so
yeah, well, you're religious.
I was brought up religious.
Okay, so you were socialized first into religiosity, and then socialized again into irreligiosity.
No, because let me if I can tell you, at a young age, talking with friends when I was made to go to church, I would say this doesn't make any sense to me. This is not true. I don't believe.
When you say this, what are you talking about? The idea that one God exists, or the Trinity? Be honest.
The Protestant explanation of how the
Okay,
universe
fine.
is meant to be.
I would agree with that. Then you had a point as a boy. Yeah, that's something else. We're not talking about
It's only
that.
later in life that I realized there were other atheists.
Fine. What you said when you were a boy was a logical thing to say. I agree with that thing. But you weren't criticizing the God thesis. You were criticizing the biblical narrative. And there's a distinction between those two things. Yeah.
If there's a creator that created all this world and
Yeah.
wants me to live in the way of the world, why can't I just walk around the world and look at it, appreciate it, and say thank you, Creator? And that's
I think
why
that-
is there
yeah.
rules?
Well, I'll tell you
Why
what.
do they put rules on me?
That's
They
good.
don't put rules on trees.
He did. And these are called the laws of nature.
Yeah, so
Look, the
I
difference-
behave within the laws of nature.
Let me tell you
and
something.
I'm doing what the Creator
I like what you're saying, and the thanks element is really good. That's why in the Quran, just to let you know, I know I said we weren't going to quote too much.
I'm interested to hear.
Yeah, in the Quran, the first line of the Quran is Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, which means praise and thanks be to God, Lord of the worlds. In other words, being grateful and being thankful to the Creator is at the center of the Islamic ethos. But the way which we do that is in accordance with the law. Now, how do we know the law? The difference between us, this is a major thing. The difference between us and the rest of the animal kingdom. Do you know what the difference is? The difference is that we are able to ask those questions that we were asking before. Why, what, where, how. Properly ask those questions, inquisitively ask those questions. I can ask, why am I here? How did I get here? Where am I going? A zebra or a lion is only concerned with survival. A dog is only concerned with survival. They're not going to ask those deep questions. As far as we know, right? No, but we know that, right? Human beings are concerned with more than that, which is why we've built civilizations. Now, here when we ask, what am I doing here? Why am I here? How did I get here? And we get answers now, because we've gotten some answers. We've gotten some answers. Our Creator created us, put us here, all these things. He set a purpose for us. Now the question is, what is the purpose? The purpose is as follows. The reason why we're here on this earth is so we can be, and this is going to sound cliche, one with nature. How so? We do that which nature is doing. Wait a minute. What's nature doing, my friend? What are you talking about? Make it clear for us. Okay. The only possible relationship that nature can have with the Creator is one of submission to the laws of Creator. Why? Because any part of the creation can't turn around and say, I'm not going to do this. It can't do that. It has no autonomous power and will above and beyond the power and will of the Creator that originally put it in place. Therefore, the answer to life's question is as follows. You must be submitting to basically the Creator's will. How so? We said we have mediums and intermediaries that basically communicate that message to human beings. But they don't come just like that. They come with two things.
You're the guy on the plane when we wake up who's like, hey,
I'm the guy on the plane. But there was someone who told me. So what am I telling you? I'm telling you, look. Why is it the case that we have all these people coming in history and claiming to receive revelation? is it a completely null hypothesis that this actually occurred as a reality, a metaphysical reality? We say no. We say there is some truth in it. Jesus was a true character historically. Abraham, Moses, all of these human beings actually existed, we would say, yeah? And they came with a message. What was that message? To submit to the laws of God. We say that long line of messages ended with the messenger of Muhammad. I know you. All right. Do you get it?
Just point out.
Yes.
All of these intermediate, what did you call them? Intermediates?
Yes.
Prophets. How do we know they are actually speaking to the Creator?
So they come with two things. I like that. Excellent. So they come with two things. They come with a message and they come with evidence. And the evidence is meant to substantiate the message. Now go back to our...
When you say evidence.
Yes.
When you say evidence.
Go back to our example. Yeah.
I could sit here and I could say,
Yeah.
the divine Creator has just told me. You lot can't hear it because you lot are not prophets. I'm a prophet. He just told me. He just told me everything I say is right.
Yeah.
Are you going to believe me?
If you give me evidence.
What kind of evidence?
Let me tell you. Let's go back to our let's go back to our ship or train example. You wake up on a ship, yeah? What are we doing here on the ship? Why are we here? What are we doing? How did we get here? Where are we going? These questions that we ask. Someone comes up, you wake up, someone's next to you, because you want to know how the hell you got on the ship or on the plane. Yeah. You wake up, you usually wake up in your bed. Now you're waking up on a ship. Yeah. How did I get here? Someone next to you says, listen man, don't worry about it man. You were involved in a brawl, you got knocked out, okay? And now we're helping you get from place to place. I'm here to chaperone you. So what happened? And then he starts giving you some information. He brings out, he says, look, there's a police crime reference number here. There's this evidence, there's that evidence, you were here, you were there, all these things. Say, look, this guy seems like he's speaking the truth, yeah? So you do something called inference to the best explanation. You say, yeah, this guy is probably telling the truth based on the circumstances and the evidence he has. You could decide to say, you know what, get out of here, my friend, yeah? I don't want your evidence, get out of here. But you know deep down that this guy's probably speaking the truth, yeah?
This guy's given me a video recording of me doing whatever I can't remember doing.
So I'm saying to you now, if you get the evidence, what will be your reaction?
If he shows me a video of me doing what I can't remember,
you'll accept it, right?
I'd say yes.
Or even not, let's not say a video. Let's say he tells you a few facts. This, X, Y, Z. I was there to see it. And then he starts showing you police reference number. You can call the police. These kinds of circumstantial evidences.
That to me isn't good enough evidence.
So okay, you're gonna say, well, get out of here then.
Yeah, I'd say I need more proof than
so
that.
He gives you another evidence, but he says, look, but hold on, you were here at this time, you were there at this time. He starts telling you where you were, and you know you. But hold on, you know where you were. You know, okay, you know where you were. You know this guy couldn't have known where you were because people don't know, i.e., knowledge of the future or knowledge of events like that.
I mean, this girl comes around with me all the time. So maybe you spoke to her and you found out.
No, but look, he's saying that, look, we saw you in this place and this place and that place and this place. You know for a fact, it's because of the location it was. Let's say it was your house or someone else's house. That there's no one that could have known that except for someone who has experienced that situation. Do you get it?
Yeah.
You'd accept the evidence? No.
With hesitation.
Fine.
Ask him what evidence would he accept.
No, this is good.
He said video.
No, but